First trip on the new Pro Angler 360 Amazon Green. This is gonna be fun. Let's go catch a fish. Perfect morning. I think we're gonna have a good morning. Let's go. Heck yeah. Oh, holy cow, about got a catch junior to the face. That was one of the better trout we've got. Oh, damn, wait, oh. Crushed it, dude. It's so much fun throwing plugs. It's better fish, too. It's so much fun throwing plugs when it's windy, because you can kind of take your time with it and cover a lot of water. And since you basically have tension on the line the whole time, whoa, you don't miss a whole lot of bites. Whoa, easy release. Don't even have to touch them. Best way to release a trout. Don't touch them. People call me crazy, but I always lip my trout. It's basically a death wish, just about, with your thumb. You can completely chew the pieces with their teeth. But I don't touch their slime coating on their skin. It's perfectly fine for the fish. I try to not touch them. The best thing to do is try not to touch them. And if you do, just wet your hand. Don't take 10 hours trying to release them. Just get them in, get them out. They're a hardy fish, but still gotta take care of them. 2013-ish, 2014, I was taking a Zinkers. I was cutting a Zinkers in half and using it as what you see today as an Ed rig for saltwater. Now what I'm doing right now, putting on a finesse shrooms. With hula sticks. And believe it or not, this time of year, as those fish are starting to key in on crustaceans, they'll key in on these worms. And I've caught some really nice trout, redfish, and snook on them. Just gotta make sure you rig it on there correctly. There you have it. And what I usually do is I'll take a little bit of shrimp procure just to give it a little bit of scent on those tentacles there. And you're ready to rock and roll. Let's see if we can't catch some fish. Loosen that up a little bit. I got very light wire hook. Very light wire hook on here. On the worm, brother, on the worm. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. That was fun. I'm about to anchor up here in a second. Let's find a good spot to anchor up. 360 Hobie. First nice fish on the Hobie. Woohoo! Gold. He is drumming away. Woo! On the 360. Edge of that mullet right there. I just drug it. I didn't even work it. Poor little Revo X is getting worked out today. That's another slam, but this is, whoa, get out of the Mirage drag, buddy. This is on the worm. Look at that. Snook, trout, and redfish on the worm. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Happy worm season. Holy shit. Nice red. Real nice red. Oh man. What a freaking day. Hey guys, thanks again for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. After every video, I go through some of the tackle and some of the tactics that I used to catch those fish that day. And with the weather starting to finally transition over to fall, we're starting to get a little bit more cooler days and some cold fronts coming through. It's time to downsize your baits, slow down your presentation, and actually go towards more of a crustacean style bait. And I'm not saying that you can't catch fish on your standard plastics like the paddlers, the minnows, the diesel minnows, but you're going to be looking at more throwing the easy shrimps, the hula sticks, the TRDs, downsizing your baits, and using worms, believe it or not, worms for saltwater fishing. So I started my day off throwing a top water like I usually do. It wasn't working really well. Switched over to a Catch Junior, started catching a lot of trout, and after I messed with trout for a good hour throwing a Catch Junior, I was like, okay, I'm done catching some small trout. I'm going to go try and target some redfish. So I knew we just had a cold front, I think the night before. It was cooled off, a little bit of wind. I've always done well throwing a hula sticks, and that's what I started throwing. I tied on a hula sticks, rigged on, believe it or not, my little Abu Garcia Revo X bass reel, and I just made a light inshore rod for it. 10-pound ultra cast down to 25-pound leader and tied to my hula sticks here. Now, the hula sticks, it's basically like a worm, and then it has kind of like a tube kind of tail on the end. It has little like tentacles on there, and in the video you see I put a little bit of Pro Cure on there to scent that. I think the scent kind of helps those fish find your bait. I mean, you don't have to have the scent, but it does help. If it catches one more fish, I think it's done its job. Now, this is the Drew's Craw color. This color, along with the Molting Craw, are probably my go-to hula stick colors when it cools off. And I was basically there's two ways that I fish this. I either drag it on the bottom, or I kind of bounce it lightly. So in part of the video, I caught a snook using this. I threw it up against a school mullet, and I just drug it right off that mullet school, and it fell right into a small little area of grass and mud, and boom, I got picked up. I wasn't even bouncing it. I was just dragging it across that school, and once it fell off that little bit of a bump or hill underneath the water, a fish found it and grabbed it. So that's basically how I caught that snook. And then as the tide started moving a little bit more, I scooted off onto a small little drop off where it goes from a lot of turtle grass to a mud gravel bottom, and that's where I picked up that redfish. And I was literally just lightly bouncing it right off the bottom, and he hit it. It does have a light wire hook. This is the Shrooms head. This is mainly used for bass fishing, so you want to fight that fish lightly. You don't want to bend out your hook because it is a light wire hook. That's why I was kind of loosening my drag a little bit in the video, because I did not want to lose that fish. And that's going to be a great bait for redfish, snook, trout, flounder. I've caught a lot of flounder doing that, using this technique, and it just works really well. And you can also rig this on, I think I did this beginning of this year. I was putting this on a snake locks. I was going out around 11 o'clock in the afternoon because it was so cold, and throwing it up into the shallows, dragging it right off the shallows into about 3 foot of water, and hitting redfish. Super clear water, so you want to bounce down to about 20 pound leader instead of 25, and you'll get some really good bites on that. So that was what I was throwing at the beginning of the day. And after I caught a few fish on that, I was like, okay, I want to try something a little bit different. Tide's going out, I want to throw a little bit bigger bait. So switched over to my Conflict 2 2500 10 pound Invisibraid, the Ultra Cast, 7 foot Techna. This is the 6 to 12 7 foot. That other rod I had was also a 612. And believe it or not, some of these rods, this one's a 612 and that one's a 612. They're both kind of a little bit different action. And now when I'm throwing this guy here, which is similar to a snake locks, this is the Texas Eye, I usually want something that's a little bit stiffer so I can push that hook through that plastic. So make sure when you're throwing something like that, you want to have a little bit stiffer rod so you can push that hook through that Elastec plastic. So as the day went on, I switched over to this guy here, Texas Eye, with a paddlers in the Right Stuff color, and doing the same style of fishing that I did with the hula sticks produced some bites. I got a couple nice redfish on this, some small snook, and of course I'm still tying a direct uni knot to the front of that because this head has a lot of action, and I don't think you're going to need a loop knot on that. You're just going to have too much movement, and I don't think you're going to get a good enough hook set. So same style of fishing like I did the hula sticks. I was kind of just dragging it, making sure that tail's just barely moving through the water, and those fish are picking it up, and it worked really well. And the water wasn't super dirty. It was kind of stained, so I thought that color matched the hatch really well. And as the water clears up, this will still work really well in clear water, but this is such a good bait for dirty water, and that is the paddlers in the Right Stuff, SPT4 355, if you're looking for the product number on that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully some of these tips will help you catch some more fish. Don't forget to like and subscribe on my YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram at RedfishJesse, and also you can hit that bell notification thing on my YouTube so when I post a video, it'll notify you. Thanks again, guys, so much, and good luck out there. I forgot to add one more thing. This is the first trip on the new Hobie 360 Pro Angler, and let me tell you guys what, that thing is freaking sweet. You wouldn't believe that just being able to turn your Mirage drive completely around would make a difference, but it does. And there's going to be a lot more videos talking about the Hobie 360, and I want to go a little more in depth in the Kayak and what they did to it and some of the new stuff, new features that they have in this boat. So thank you guys so much for following, and have a nice day. Thank you.